Shout out to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring this update. It's almost time for Father's Day, and Omaha Steaks is offering the perfect gift for the grill master in your life. Get the Father's Day package for just $49.99 when you visit omahasteaks.com and type "the no" in the search bar. Welcome to The Know, I'm Brian. The beta for H1Z1 continues to draw an impressive number of players on the PlayStation 4. Developer Daybreak Games tweeted recently that the game's beta now has more than 4.5 million players on the PS4, and as a special thank you, it dropped an uncommon weapon, the blue barbed Hellfire 4.6, into players' inventories. That's a nice perk. And it's pretty impressive for a game that's newer to consoles, but H1Z1 definitely has a longer history on PC where it predates other Battle Royale games like PUBG or Fortnite. Just goes to show that players can't get enough of that sweet Battle Royale goodness. While the PS4 beta for H1Z1 launched last week, an Xbox One beta is expected sometime later this year. Some fans have been trying to decipher all the cryptic clues about Death Stranding that have been left by creator Hideo Kojima, and they think they might have discovered where the game is set: Iceland. One of those clues involved an image that Kojima tweeted of a moss-covered field, and a sharp-eyed fan noticed that the image matches pretty closely to some lava fields in Iceland. And the fan's theory was retweeted by none other than Kojima himself, so maybe they were onto something. Also, the music in the game's trailers is by an Icelandic band called Low Roar, which could mean something or nothing at all. We'll know more at E3 when Kojima is expected to talk more about the game, or at least we're gonna get another trailer. That's gonna happen next month. It looks like the first beta for Black Ops 4 is just around the corner. Developer Treyarch hasn't said anything officially yet, but some people have discovered a listing on the GameStop Germany page that indicates that a private beta will begin sometime in August. We also know that the PC will be included in the beta, and some think that the PlayStation 4 might get it before other platforms. Again, no word yet, so we'll wait and see what the developer announces. And of course, Black Ops 4 releases for the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One on October 12th. Star Citizen has broken all kinds of crowdfunding records, and apparently they need a little more cash to go on top of that gigantic pile of money. The space simulator is now selling something called the Legatus Pack, which includes nearly every ship in the game, 117 ships in all, along with more than 160 upgrades and skins, all for the low price of $27,000. The high-class pack was discovered on the game's official forums, and players also noticed that to even view the page for this pack, you have to have already spent $1,000 in the game. Star Citizen, it's still in development. It's raised more than $180 million already, but you know what? Maybe they needed help paying the light bill this month. You never know. A legend in video gaming has passed away. Ted Dabney, who co-founded Atari and helped release the classic game Pong, died recently after a battle with cancer. The historian Leonard Herman posted about his death on Facebook saying, "RIP, dear friend, your legacy will live on a long time." Dabney and Nolan Bushnell developed the Atari in the early 1970s, and then working with developer Alan Alcorn, they released Pong in 1972. Bushnell tweeted, "Ted was my partner, co-founder, fellow dreamer, and friend. I'll always cherish the time we spent together, RIP. Dabney was 81. It looks like we'll be waiting a bit longer for the second season of A Wolf Among Us. Telltale Games says that season 2 of the game, which first released back in 2014, won't be coming out until next year. You might remember that the game was announced last year and it was scheduled for a late 2018 release, but in an announcement, Telltale said that the delay is, quote, the result of a few fundamental changes at the company. They added, taking this extra time will allow us not only to focus on quality, but also to experiment and iterate in order to craft something truly special. Ultimately, our goal is to deliver an experience deserving of the passion you've consistently shown for The Wolf Among Us, and these extra months will give us the time we need to do our best work." This comes after Telltale said last year that it was laying off 25% of its workforce, so it's possible that all that staffing reduction impacted the timeline of the game. Still, Telltale says we're extremely enthusiastic about how the game is progressing so far, and we can't wait to dig even deeper. A brand new Mega Man game is coming out this fall. Get excited. Nintendo, and really everybody else, unveiled a trailer for the latest edition of the Landmark series. Once again, it shows off the Blue Bomber. He's running, he's jumping on platforms, just doing Mega Man things. And while some recent entries like Mega Man 9 and 10 used a throwback 8-bit style, this one has more updated graphics that's drawn some comparison to Mighty Number 9. The new game will also include a new mechanic called the Double Gear system that slows the flow of time and overcharges your Mega Buster gun. I'm stoked. I've loved Mega Man since the beginning, so I'm excited. I'm old and excited. You can be both. The game is coming to PC as well as all the consoles, Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 on October 2nd. A cult hit from the GameCube era is coming to Steam. This is another awesome game. Killer 7 will release on PC later this year. That's according to developer Grasshopper Manufacture. They said that at MomoCon over the weekend. And while it's not a remaster, the developer told Game Informer that its, quote, simple models and colors scale nicely to modern resolutions. Now, Killer 7, it came out for the PlayStation 2 and GameCube back in 2005 and won a big following for its original style of storytelling. It's not a huge surprise considering that it was co-written and directed by Goichi Suda, aka Suda51, and Shinji Mikami. It's great. Like, if you have a PC, you should totally check this out. It is weird and a classic. So, Solo, a Star Wars story, it broke records this weekend. Unfortunately, it broke the wrong kind of records, like weakest Star Wars opening in modern history. Initial tracking suggested it could make up to $175 million at the box office. That was later dropped down to $135 million the week leading up to the release, and the movie didn't even hit that number. Solo brought in a total of just $101 million over the entire Memorial Day holiday weekend. To compare, Rogue One made $155 million its opening 3 days, and the episode films each scored well over $200 million openings. The movie is also fizzling overseas, making an anemic $65 million. China flat out just turned up its nose at the movie, which is a huge hit to that international box office numbers. I don't think China's ever really been into Star Wars movies, so this isn't gonna help. Reports suggest that the total budget after reshoots and marketing could be in the $400 million zone, which would make it real hard for Solo to even break even at this point. Can you even imagine saying that about a Star Wars movie? The general critical consensus was positive, audience scores were high, but Solo just didn't seem to be an event, perhaps because it was coming after the huge success of Infinity War and Deadpool 2. Whatever the reason for the low turnout, it's a sure bet Lucasfilm, they're gonna be re-examining their spin-off strategy at this point. Zack Snyder revealed recently that his next project could very well be an adaptation of Ayn Rand's acclaimed but controversial novel, The Fountainhead. Snyder took some time off after initial shooting on Justice League due to a tragedy in his family, and Joss Whedon stepped in to take over. It was clear that Snyder would return to work, and now we know what he's working on. Rand's 1943 book is a cornerstone of modern right libertarian politics. Paul Ryan, Speaker of the House, was listed among his favorite. The book, if you haven't read it, focuses on a young architect who values personal freedom and expression over conforming to trends, and he's targeted by different socialist-leaning characters over his beliefs. Video game fans will see something familiar here. BioShock is also heavily influenced by Rand's work, especially The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. Andrew Ryan is kind of like an exaggerated version of her typical hero, and his exclusive Rapture, kind of a Randy in Paradise, before everyone put on creepy animal masks and went crazy. Snyder said he was drawn to the story's thesis on the creative process. Other details are not known at this time, but Snyder's frequent studio, Warner Brothers, does have the rights to the movie. Well, that's about all the news we got for today. Let us know what you think about all these stories in the comments, and for all your news from every corner of the internet, be sure to like this video and subscribe to The Know. Thanks to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring this update. We have had Omaha Steaks as a sponsor before, so some of you may have tried them, and they are pretty awesome for us a few times a year because you can stock up on all kinds of tasty meats. Since Father's Day is coming up, they are offering a package just for the dad in your life. I'm a dad, I love them. And I know you're like, Brian, you just look like you're in college. You're too young to be a dad. No, I'm a dad, I love Omaha Steaks. Listen to what they're offering. 2 tender filet mignons, 2 beefy top sirloins, 4 chicken fried steaks, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 all-beef Omaha steak burgers, 4 gourmet jumbo franks, 12 ounces of all-beef meatballs, a pound of steakhouse fries, 4 caramel apple tartlets, seasoning, and then an extra 4 Omaha steak burgers, and that's all for just $49.99. That's 78% off. Trust me, your dad likes saving. Yeah, he's got to pay for you. They've sent this pack to us, and it's enough to feed a small army or your whole family for a nice weekend cookout. We get these in the office, we split them up, we fight over it like rabid dogs. We go through them super quick because it's delicious. These guys know what they're doing. Plus, it's tough to beat the convenience of all the meat coming to you. If you want to snag the Father's Day package for $49.99, just visit omahasteaks.com, enter our code THEKNOW, that's all one word, in the search bar to bring it up and get going.